Brisbane Heat vs Sydney Thunder, 29th match, BigBashLeague 2025-26. Live cricket score coverage begins with the atmosphere around the Gabba in Brisbane, where conditions are traditionally known for pace, bounce, and a surface that rewards confident stroke play. The BigBashLeague has always been a competition where momentum can change quickly, and this fixture between Brisbane Heat and Sydney Thunder arrived at an important stage of the season, with both teams looking to strengthen their position on the points table. This video provides a detailed, ball-by-ball style recap and match analysis, focusing on how the game unfolded, the key moments that shaped the result, and the performances that defined the contest. This content is presented purely for informational and entertainment purposes, offering a clear understanding of the match without predictions, guarantees, or promotional intent. As the teams prepared for the start of play, attention naturally turned to the conditions. The Gabba surface looked firm, with even grass coverage and minimal signs of deterioration, suggesting good carry for fast bowlers and value for shots played along the ground. Weather conditions were stable, with no immediate threat of rain, allowing both teams to plan a full 20-over contest without interruptions. In such conditions, winning the toss often presents a decision point rather than a clear advantage, as both batting first and chasing have historically been viable options at this venue. Sydney Thunder won the toss and elected to bat first, a decision that reflected confidence in their batting lineup and an intention to put scoreboard pressure on Brisbane Heat. The opening combination walked out knowing that the power play would be crucial, not only in terms of scoring, but also in setting the tone for the innings. Brisbane Heat's bowlers began with disciplined lines, using the early movement available to test the batter's patience. The first few overs were competitive, with boundaries balanced by dot balls, keeping the scoring rate in check while allowing Thunder to settle. DavidWarner, opening the innings for Sydney Thunder, played a central role from the outset. His approach was measured early on, focusing on timing rather than power, using the pace of the wicket to guide the ball into gaps. As the innings progressed, Warner gradually expanded his range of shots, targeting the shorter boundaries and putting pressure back on the bowlers. His experience in high-pressure situations was evident in his shot selection, as he avoided unnecessary risks while still maintaining a healthy scoring rate. At the other end, his opening partner contributed with support rather than dominance, allowing Warner to anchor the innings. Brisbane Heat rotated their bowlers through the power play, attempting to disrupt rhythm and force mistakes. While there were moments where wickets looked possible, Thunder managed to navigate the early phase without significant damage, reaching the end of the power play with a solid platform. As the field spread and spinners were introduced, the middle overs became a test of composure. Warner continued to control the tempo, while the Heat's bowlers focused on variations, slower deliveries, and changes of angle. The contest during this phase was evenly balanced, with Thunder accumulating steadily but finding boundaries harder to come by. The importance of partnerships became clear, as each over added incremental pressure to Brisbane Heat's bowling unit. A wicket in the middle overs briefly shifted momentum, bringing a new batter to the crease and offering Heat an opening. However, Warner remained composed, guiding his partner and ensuring the innings did not stall. His ability to manipulate the field and rotate strike prevented Brisbane from building sustained pressure. The Thunder innings during this phase was defined by calculated risk rather than aggression, a strategy aimed at preserving wickets for a strong finish. As the innings moved into the final 5 overs, Sydney Thunder increased their intent. Warner accelerated, finding the boundary more regularly and targeting bowlers who missed their lengths. Supporting batters played situational roles, contributing quick runs where possible and focusing on strike rotation when boundaries were not available. Brisbane Heat responded by adjusting their fields and bowling plans, but the Thunder's execution during the death overs ensured they reached a competitive total. Sydney Thunder completed their 20 overs with a score of 180 for 6, a total that reflected a well-paced innings rather than an explosive one. Warner finished as the standout contributor, having anchored the innings and provided stability from start to finish. The total appeared defendable, particularly given the Gabba's reputation for rewarding disciplined bowling when pressure is applied early. Brisbane Heat's reply began with intent. Knowing the required run rate was manageable but demanding consistency, their openers approached the chase with clarity. Jack Wildermuth made an immediate impact, using his strength and timing to put pressure on the Thunder bowlers during the power play. His approach was direct, targeting anything over pitched or short, and forcing fielding adjustments early in the innings. UsmanKhawaja, batting alongside Wildermuth, adopted a contrasting role. Calm, composed, and precise, Khawaja focused on building the innings, ensuring Brisbane Heat maintained control of the chase. The partnership between the two provided the ideal balance of aggression and stability, allowing the Heat to stay ahead of the required rate without taking unnecessary risks. SydneyThunder attempted to strike back with changes in bowling, introducing pace variations and tightening fields. However, the Brisbane openers responded effectively, continuing to find gaps and rotate strike. The power play ended with Brisbane Heat in a strong position, having scored freely while losing minimal wickets. The dismissal of Wildermuth brought a brief pause to the momentum, but it did little to disrupt the overall flow of the chase. Khawaja remained at the crease, now joined by Matt Renshaw, and the pair focused on consolidating before accelerating further. Their understanding of match situation was evident, as they prioritized partnerships and avoided rash shots. Khawaja's innings was a study in control. He selected his scoring options carefully, punishing loose deliveries while respecting good bowling. His footwork against spin and balance against pace allowed him to maintain a steady scoring rate, keeping Brisbane Heat firmly in command. As his innings progressed, he reached a well-earned half-century, continuing to guide the chase with authority. Renshaw played an important supporting role, contributing runs at a consistent pace and ensuring the pressure remained on SydneyThunder. Together, the pair reduced the target methodically, turning what could have been a tense chase into a controlled pursuit. Thunder's bowlers struggled to find breakthroughs, and as overs ticked by, the equation became increasingly favorable for Brisbane Heat. With the required runs dropping quickly, Brisbane Heat shifted gears slightly, increasing boundary frequency while maintaining discipline. Khawaja continued to lead, eventually finishing with 78 runs off 48 balls, an innings that combined patience, technique, and timely acceleration. His performance provided the backbone of the chase and earned him recognition as the defining contributor of the match. Brisbane Heat reached the target in 16.2 overs, finishing on 183 for 3 and the END.